now we have, I think, about 25 members present through Zoom. And again, we're recording the meeting by request, so those who haven't participated, hopefully will be able to view this later if they wish to do that. And today, I'm going to begin our meeting January 13th, 2021 via Zoom, our general membership meeting. And welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Cheers. Cheers. Again, mute if you can. And the first thing I would like to do is really special guests today from Santa Rosa, California, longtime members, Marilyn and Dave. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's really a treat to have you here today. And so before we kind of move along a little bit, can you tell us a little bit about what your activities are with your cars there in Santa Rosa?
Well, over the last few months, they've been very nil, as I'm
everywhere.
Sure you know. But prior to that, our region down here, the Redwood Empire region, has been a very active region since 1976. And we put on a few national meets over the years and a few national tours. And we basically tour once a month, rain or shine, 12 months out of the year. So we're
We
very
meet
fortunate.
once a month.
Very fortunate to have the area that will support our enthusiasm of driving the cars. A lot of great back roads, and it's been absolutely marvelous. This past, like I say, this last couple of years have kind of put a little bit of a damper on it, but we're still doing our best to keep everything, our heads out of water, put it that way, like everyone else.
Very good. Do you have primary drivers, or just you try to use them all?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Depends on the tour. Everybody in our club is responsible. Well, we have a tour chairman, but everybody throws in their ideas. And then whatever tour we're going to go on, we pick the car that's apropos for that tour. So it's very fun.
Nice. And are you meeting via Zoom these days?
Are we doing?
Are you meeting via computers these days?
You know, we have met at, one of our members has a large piece of property. So we've met on their property, keeping our chairs 6 feet apart. And it's been great. So we can actually meet in person and talk to everybody with masks. But it's worked all year.
Yeah, so far, but as things are progressing, one of the lady's daughters is up on all this stuff, and she's going to set us up. So maybe by February, we will also be doing a Zoom meeting.
And I do Zoom with Symphony. I volunteer with the Santa Rosa Symphony League, and we've been doing our monthly Zoom meetings since April.
Oh, very nice. And it's not 10 degrees there.
Oh, no, it's very warm. Compared, yeah.
In fact, the forecast for the next week tells us we may get maybe 70, 71. So,
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Does anyone have some
pretty warm.
questions for Marilyn and Dave while we have them here?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've got a vehicle being restored just downriver from you in Cazadero.
Oh, sure.
At Willie's America. So if you don't mind, would you tour down there and see what's going on with it? Why it's taking so long?
You come up on the roster and send me some information if you'd like me to check something out for you. I'd be more than happy to do it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a beautiful ride on Cazadero.
yes, it is. It's a wonderful road. Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the DeLorean, Doc? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's a Jeep wagon, old Willie's wagon.
Okay.
Yeah, a Jeep wagon. That's the fella that's as you're going into Cazadero, he's on the right-hand side by the creek, the river there. Is that the fella?
That's it.
Okay,
yep.
I haven't been out there in a couple of years, but yeah, I know exactly where he's at.
Yeah, Willie's America, it's called, and that's all they do. So
right.
Hopefully it'll be done. Hopefully it'll be done this summer.
Let me know when we can say something.
Well, I don't know if they notified you or not, but Austin Creek that goes through there went over the banks this last year, and so we haven't had enough rain to do it this year. So let's keep our fingers crossed.
Right. yeah, it seemed like the last 3 years, it's either been fire or flood, you know,
Right.
one scare after another.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, any other questions for
They
Mary?
are.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, hey, I got a question.
Where are you?
Right down there.
Okay,
This is Kurt. I don't know if you guys are in the cameras on. Kurt Ryan, we have a place down on Occidental Road, right by Furlong Road. And next
Oh,
time I
yeah.
get away, I was going to come down this year. I'll pop over to see you guys.
Absolutely.
that'd be wonderful. I know exactly where you are because about maybe 200 yards away from there, a good friend of mine has a restoration shop that he and I work at 2 days a week. That's just so I can keep my fingers in a little bit of grease. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
I remember right on the corner there of Furlong and Occidental, there's a big white house up on the hill. Breastfeeding, and it had a big square tree. Someone is not gonna, he's not going to climb the square it off anymore.
The big cypress that has been there for forever and ever. We used to film our car tours, and I have photographs from that cypress tree back in 1976, and it was always so perfectly manicured.
Now it's
And now
gone.
it certainly has outlived its usefulness.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Isn't it totally gone?
Now the stems are still there.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Been in 4 generations. It's been in 4 generations of the family.
Oh my!
Yeah. Oh.
Kind of an interesting cultural thing out there. There's the Denharts from the Irish bunch, the Respinis and so forth from the Italians, and
Yeah.
those settlers in that area. You know, I mean, sheep ranches further out to the ocean.
Mhm.
So we're right across the street from them.
Oh, well,
Very good. Very good.
well, again, you're down here. Give us a call.
Yeah.
Well, welcome again. Welcome again, Marilyn, Dave.
Thanks so much.
Oh, absolutely. And please join us every month too. This is really wonderful to have you with us.
Yeah.
Again, we're recording our meeting today, and I want to go ahead and move on. I think just for everyone to know again, Gwen and Mike, you're joined by Ken and Kurt. We can't quite see Ken. Oh, yeah, I do see Ken. Hi, Ken.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining over there as well. And the first matter of business today is we would have normally approved the minutes as published in the Tinkering Times, but there was no meeting in December. So we're going to now move on to Treasurer's Report. Scott.
I'm gonna go.
Well, this is where I'm supposed to unmute, huh?
Would you
Mute.
say a little bit of that?
Okay, so we have money. Where did I write it down? It's $10,413, I think it is.
We're rich.
Okay. And next,
I wrote it down, so I'll look again. How's that? We'll find out how good my memory is.
all right, and then I'll pester you with one more question before we get.
$10,416.
All right. Thank you. And I think now what I would like to do is, could I ask you, and we'll go ahead and take care of membership after we've handled installation. And that would now go over to Art and Tam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask him to point out.
I'll do the procedural, I'll be into procedural things.
Okay. We're going to start. It's a privilege for us to install the AAMA officers for 2021. We have chosen Star Wars as the installation theme. This is in recognition of the out of this world experiences we all have endured in 2020. We changed our meeting place. We learned Zoom. We participated in abbreviated pop-up tours, learned how to wear masks and socially distanced. We have survived and are stronger for it.
There's 2 procedural notes as we go through this evening. Number 1 is that we will swear in everyone simultaneously at the end of this Star Wars episodes. So as we move to the next name without waving Hemmings in front of you, don't panic. Things will happen in due time. Number two, we request that the officers elect and others, as we call your names, make your presence known by some sort of gesture, preferably not obscene. And also, if David, if you could zero in on those folks that we're talking about as we get to the installation part, so we can see them turn red with embarrassment.
Okay.
I have that kind of power.
Yeah, I think you do, because like right now you're showing up really big in front of me, and of course I'm disappearing, but that's all right. The slate for 2021 consists of David Skywalker as president, Princess Linda Organa as vice president, Obi Scott Kenobi as the treasurer, Greg Solo, had to turn my page, as secretary, and Dutch Vader as the appointed sergeant at arms. Our three malls members at large who volunteered to join the board are Brian Anderson, Alan Combs, and myself.
But before we begin the ceremony, we would like to acknowledge and thank Milt and Pam Tenora for their excellent services as both treasurer and secretary over the past several years. We wish them well in Oregon. We now have to move to the conference room on our space cruiser. Our Wookiee co-pilot, which is behind me here, will take over while we are gone to keep us on course. We will be back shortly.
Okay, it'll only take a second.
Got to change the scene here.
Star Wars, huh?
Star
We were told it was Little House on the Prairie.
Uh-oh,
I think they've left the room.
I think they left the meeting.
They've been transported into a star galaxy unknown, a black hole.
Far, far away.
Yeah.
They've gone to
Right there, Linda.
the Cantina.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like your Leia hairdo. That's
Yes,
cool.
I do too, right.
Thank you very much.
They have vanished.
They have. This is better than last year, though, because I was threatened with a wooden spoon.
That's true.
Waiting for them to pop up. Here is the waiting room. Here we go.
I figure they'll dial in again.
They are about to. From the
Okay.
conference.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, no.
He hit the wrong button. Okay. So it took us a little while to get back in.
I hope someone has the capability to screen capture the moment.
Okay. David Skywalker, also known as David Jensen, as president-elect, we have identified you with Luke Skywalker. Who is he? He's our hero, of course. The clean-living, hard-working, elders respecting, all-American boy from Anchorage, whose adventures form the very backbone, believe it or not, of the original Star Wars trilogy. Just a simple kid from an Alaskan frontier home. David has pulled himself up by his own utility belt and has gone on to master the Force and save once again the entire galaxy and the antique auto mushers of Alaska from evil, at least temporarily. Why do we love him? Come on. He's the ultimate family animal friendly photographer, adventure hero. He's kind to animals and droids, good at fighting, flying spaceships, and driving Thunderbirds. swinging across chasms on ropes and doing the right thing. His performance is consistently intelligent, heartfelt, and witty. And he never comes close to crossing that line between upstanding hero and annoying goody-goody. His memorable words are, "I care." Seriously, as our president, you shall preside at all meetings. You may appoint committee chairman with the approval of members present at a business meeting, and shall have the power to decide all questions of equal division and all duties usually vested in the president of an organization.
Princess Linda Organa, also known as Linda Golding, is
Help
vice
me,
president.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope.
I like that.
Oh, I love it.
She's our vice president-elect, and we have identified her with Princess Leia Organa. Now, who is she? She is the proud, upraised face of the antique auto mushers. A beautiful, sarcastic, blaster-packing, man-juggling, no baloney taking, Danish pastry haircut icon of womanhood. Her gold bikini-wearing days in the past may have dented her feminist credentials ever so slightly, but at least she maintained her control of the situation. And now, in her current life, in whatever she is wearing, she still calls the shots. And why do we love her? When she was little, Princess Linda was undoubtedly at times just an annoyance. Then, as an adolescent, she became a bit more interesting, but hardly a character to be taken seriously, gold bikini or no gold bikini. But now, as a grown-up, we can look back and realize that Princess Linda, although she may be the token female officer in the club, she is actually the most shaded, complex character in the entire AAMA saga. As a very public figure working for the club's worthy causes, she's got a lot more at stake than any of her flyboy compatriots. As a woman in a man's universe, she stands her ground at every turn. See how she will possibly face down Dutch Vader and the rest of the crew without breaking a sweat. She has the quickest mind, the sharpest tongue, and lest we forget,
That was
as the decades have
He forgot.
passed, she remains willing to risk everything for the cause she believes in, which is AAMA. Her memorable words are, "I am not a committee." As vice president, you shall assist the president in any way possible and be prepared to serve in the absence of the president. Keep your wonderful enthusiasm high so that every member will be aware of and influenced by your efforts. You shall be responsible for coordinating club events and activities and for maintaining the club's event calendar. And as a supervisory duty, you'll work with the individual event chairs to coordinate details between activities.
Greg Solo, known better as Greg Carpenter, is the secretary-elect. We have identified him with Han Solo. Who is he? Captain of the Millennium Falcon and cockiest space pilot in the galaxy. He's every boy's hero, cruising from star system to star system with his hairy best friend Chewbacca, getting into scrapes, shooting the place up, and performing occasional acts of random heroism. Why do we love him? It's near impossible not to love him. His hair is great. His Bogart cowboy hipster outfit is legendary. His wisecracks are second to none, and his lopsided grin has broken 1,000,000 hearts on 1,000 worlds. But there's more to it. Somehow, he is a friend with a really, really cool spaceship and a 1966 Mustang. His memorable words are, "I know. As secretary, you shall be responsible for maintaining an accurate account of all meetings and process all other correspondence for the club. You shall maintain a file of all current membership applications and a current voting list. Your records will assure that we are not vulnerable to fake news."
Obi Scott Kenobi, also known as Scott Hulse, is treasurer-elect, and we have identified him with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, who is he? From a thrusting young Jedi hero to desert wandering retainer to shimmering blue apparition, Obi Scott is either the selfless beating heart of the entire AAMA saga or a total doormat. Still, like the great man said, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Now, why do we love him? Because he's absolutely ruthless with a lightsaber and a calculator. Because he filled 2 positions during the 2020 AAMA administration, vice president and then treasurer when Milt left. Because of his shades of gray, shades of beige wardrobe is both functional and stylish, and because he wears a trim beard with boundless elan that fits in well with his Rolls Royce. Still, it does give us slight concern that he's basically a one-man walking support network for the accident-prone Skywalker family. And where does it get him, really? He's left to shuffle around the desert for 2 decades as a glorified long-distance babysitter. Then, as soon as life starts getting interesting again, he's unceremoniously knocked off and forced to spend the remainder of eternity as a ghost. His memorable words are, "If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you would possibly imagine." As treasurer, you shall have the responsibility for all the funds of the club and to submit an annual report. Additionally, you shall perform the duties of the president in the absence of the president and vice president. Your accurate accounting of our funds will ensure that we have a bank account that is the envy and target of Bonnie and Clyde in their 1934 Ford.
Dutch Vader, also known as Dutch Overley, is Sergeant at Arms, and we have identified him with Darth Vader. Who is he? We don't think it's going too far to suggest that here is the single most iconic villain of all time. His appearance is terrifying, his voice bone-chilling, his words pure dripping evil. But what really turns Dutch into the stuff of our childhood nightmares are his actions, from snapping necks left and right, both in person and remotely, to happily fining people that attend meetings without their name tags. Let that just sink in a bit. Then this is a guy who really, really shouldn't be trifled with. Why do we love him? Because however much we love the other Star Wars movie characters, sarcastic space pilots, pistol-packing princesses, upstanding blonde heroes, robust sidekicks, and wise old wizards, there will only ever be one Dutch Vader. His backstory is perhaps problematic. As a child, we can guess he was just a horrible little squirt, and his descent into evil was not helped by his addiction to English automobiles with Lucas Electrics, which have two positions, off and dim. He is also accident prone and has been known to hide his lightsaber or other weapon in his arm sling. But it's nothing next to Dutch's greatest hits, lightsabering a platoon of AAMA members without so much as a shrug for not wearing their name tags, turning up his MG like a snooker player, caulking his cue, throttling anyone who thwarts the split the pot game for the expendable flies that they are. He is perfect creation, never to be improved upon. Dutch Vader, we tremblingly salute you. His memorable words are, if you only knew the power of the dark side. As Sergeant at Arms, you have volunteered and have been chosen to preserve order in this disorderly group. You must be ready to execute commands given on the spot by your leaders. You have to be willing to take control of difficult situations, sometimes resorting to issuing prisoner garb and using shackles and handcuffs. These duties are necessary in order to keep the peace at meetings. You are also in charge of the huge responsibility of split the pot and checking for name tags. Through all of this, you must remain and continue to maintain an even temper and pleasant personality. Good luck with that.
Finally, the Malls, also known as the members at large, who are Brian Anderson, Alan Combs, and Tamia Isham. Now, who are these Malls? These are three volunteers who serve as part of the executive board of AAMA. They are a cheeky, level-headed group of members who come complete with an Inspector Gadget-like array of convenient little nozzles, appendages, and ideas. Think Henry the Hoover meets a Swiss Army knife, only with personality. And why do we love them? Because they are the common heroes of this out-of-this-world space and time. They help to get the other board members out of trouble just when things look their bleakest for lack of ideas or poor judgment. From juggling ideas from the elected officers to helping solve the problem of David Skywalker's Thunderbird, Princess Linda's Deshevaux, Obi Scott Kenobi's Rolls Royce, and Greg Solo's Mustang, to cutting their way out of nefarious traps. The Malls do all the hard galaxy-saving work and get precious little credit. Without them, the dark side forces would be ruling the galaxy, and Skywalker, Princess Linda, Solo, and Kenobi would be little more than glutinous splodges on the inside of a trash compactor. Their memorable words are, "Here we go again," and "We're doomed." Malls offer advice and counsel and assist the officers to fulfill their club duties. They have the power to proceed in any manner to best serve the interests of AAMA. Their duties also include periodic meetings with the officers to ensure that the club is functioning well and that the bylaws are followed. We now have reached the end of our introduction and embarrassment, and will now proceed with the swearing in ceremony. I have here the latest copies of Hemmings Motor News, which we just received, dated February. And it is the good book for our hobby. So David, Linda, Greg, Scott, Dutch, Brian, Alan, and Tamia teleport your hand and place it on the book. Do you accept the responsibilities of your elected, appointed, or voluntary position?
I do.
I do.
I
I
do.
do.
Look at that passport.
Buildings, looks like they.
Fellow members, I present to you our 2021 leadership.
We would now like to address the membership. As members of this fine club, there is more for you to do than just observe. You have to give too. Please always keep in mind the following. AAMA depends on every one of you to accomplish our club's goals. Always remember that no one is insignificant. Try to make it a priority to participate in all activities as best you can. Always be enthusiastic, optimistic, and volunteer your time and unique talents. Look forward to and participate having fun and sharing with everyone your love of the old car hobby and all the wonderful things from the past. Along with your fellow club members, continue to experience the excitement as we venture every year to familiar and new places and participate in events. Always remember, we are family. Let's have a wonderful 2021. We are returning to the cockpit. So let's hope our co-pilot Chewbacca has not traveled from our, or has not strayed from our correct course. So we'll
rejoin you
we will
shortly.
get you guys can go ahead. We will join you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you. Hi, Mary Ann.
All right, we'll wait for just a couple moments.
Where'd it go? There it moves around. Yeah, we're not hearing your audio, but we're seeing you.
They're not here quite yet.
You're muted.
I was at another meeting, but I'm having a great time looking at how everybody is dolled up or monkeyed up or whatever.
Well, some of them anyway.
Got dragoned
I
up.
resemble that.
And I so enjoyed the commentary.
They've disappeared. They're moving to a new room on the ship somewhere.
Here we are.
There we go.
But I'm coming and going again.
Like you're going into hyperspeed.
I know.
That's right. Hyperdrive.
Teleported to another dimension.
Yeah.
Is that a Model A spaceship?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right, thank you for doing that, Art and Tam. Very
Yeah.
much. Really appreciate that. And thanks also, Don was part of the committee, but he was unable to join us this evening. And now I guess our first official actions as a new board and a new year, we're going to move into some of our agenda items. And the first thing is I just wanted to let everybody know when things are back to normal, our arrangements at Hope Community Resources continue to, those are available to us whenever we're ready to return, and hopefully that will happen sometime this year. Next up, Scott, I'm going to ask you if you could talk to us a little bit about membership and dues.
Okay, so we have a total of 22 people that both paid their local and national dues at the same time through the club, and another 20 that confirmed their membership. For 42 people, we've actually have, shoot, I thought I wrote that down. We have a couple more members that, didn't provide proof that the AACA had been renewed. And every time since December 31st, when I try to log into the member site to confirm any number, it says I haven't paid my dues, and I paid mine back in September. So, and when I called them, they said, well, we're kind of behind on updating things.
Kidding.
So I can't confirm those or not. But yeah, it's 45 memberships. Some, most of them are joint, some of them are single. And that's where we sit.
Scott, I will tell you that I thought I had paid our dues back in November, only checking my checking account. Recently, I realized I never did. So that check literally is in the mail. It should be at the PO box in a day or two.
You know their website does work to do it online, and it's quite quick. Of course, that's what I did, and I got the receipt, but they still don't have a record that I paid it yet. So.
And do you think, Scott, we're at a point where we need any kind of help from Tinkering Times or beyond Tinkering Times to encourage more renewals?
I don't know. Do we want to go back to the years where we used to, people fuss because we put on their label whether they paid their dues or not?
Right, right.
We don't have any labels anymore.
No, we don't. Well, if I do it online, people would see, and if we put a notice in the Tinkering Times that here are the deadbeats that haven't paid yet, they might get upset. I don't know.
I wouldn't.
I think what we ought to do is take the people that don't pay and put them in the seat next to Art and watch them disappear.
Transport them to another realm.
Yep.
Oh, there goes Art.
Oh, the Phantom Zone. Remember the Superman series? They sent them off to the Phantom Zone if they were bad. You could bring them back after they paid their dues.
Well, researching in all the newsletters and everything back to the early times, they used to publish who paid and who didn't.
Right.
Tinkering Times.
Well, frankly, I think it would be helpful if we just had a list there that.
Yep.
Marcy, you're asking for something?
Well, why don't we just send an email to just those people to remind them? They like to be reminded if they haven't paid.
I need to work with Mike and he asked me to send an update to him of who's paid and who hasn't. And then we'll send out notices to them. That's.
If I could interject there, through the region that we have here in Northern California, we have decided that we're all adults and dues are due in January. We send you a notice in February that your dues are due, and after that, you're gone. Trying to babysit everybody can be a real hassle. Just my 2 bits.
What's the size of your club?
We have about 60 family members.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Marcy, send me an email. I need one.
You need an email, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Correct.
Right.
And I'm supposed to walk that over to your house and slide it under the door, right?
So we'll revisit this not only at the February general meeting, but probably also at our first board meeting with the new board, which will, I assume, be sometime in March, as I believe is required in our bylaws. So any other discussion on the dues?
No, I'm looking it up. I was going to comment to Kurt. I have a note here that you mailed it on a certain date, but I don't mailed it on November 5th, but I don't have a.
Oh, I have not mailed it, but you will get it sooner or later.
Okay.
All right.
Right where the notice is.
Okay. So moving past the dues, we're going to turn things over. Art has some traction going as far as the Ferrandi this year.
Okay, I got contacted by the guy that basically was responsible for the car show. And I told him, well, we're not having a car show this year, but we would like to have an informal parade. And he said, aha, we got an answer for you. We're going to have a formal parade this year. And I said, great, send me the information. And so I don't have any specific information other than the fact that we will have a parade on the 27th of February, which is Saturday, and it kicks off at 10:30. So that means we have to be in position wherever our position is, probably about 9 o'clock, 9:30. And I told him we'd have anywhere from 10 to 20 cars. And I think that's probably a good guess. He didn't mumble or complain to say, well, you can only have 3 or 6 or however many. So I suspect this year they're going to want everything that they can possibly get, because there may not be all that many people in the parade. So the person that was running the parade last year apparently passed away recently. So the responsibility for running that thing has gone off to somebody else who was the person that called me. So anyway, I will keep you informed and let you know what happens, but sort of pencil in the 27th of February, which is a Saturday, for a parade. No show this year, just a parade.
And I believe you suggested that it might be a 10:30 a.m. start time.
Yes, he said it would be a 10:30 a.m. start time.
Okay, more
So
detail. Thank you.
typically being in position, we like to be there about an hour and a half before.
Thank you. Any other discussion about the Rondi Parade? All right.
So after the parade, everybody just drives home, or are we going to stop someplace like Alaska Sales and Service or Bob's Services or something like that?
We can talk about that. I mean, we could go someplace and have a super spreader event if you'd like. So
The last I heard is Bob didn't want to have it down there this year.
Right.
yeah, I've
Right.
already talked with Bob, and he's fine with not having it. He didn't encourage it, as a matter of fact.
Right.
But a stay in your cars activity afterward probably is still something that could be on the table as we get closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I don't know if, when I talked to Jim was going to talk to Scott, and it sounds like he might have spoken with you, Richard as well, about a possible Fairbanks event.
Yeah, he's trying to put something together after the 4th. He's hoping for right after the 4th of July. Up to 5 days possibly. Trip to Fairbanks, with side trips possibly to Circle and or Chena Hot Springs. Right now he's still in the exploratory stage of it.
Do you know if he was talking about that being an A's event that we would attend, or would that be?
I think it would be open to the entire membership.
It sounds like it's a reproduction of last year's that we didn't get on
That we didn't
in
do.
2020.
Yeah, kind of. Right now, Willie seems to have the museum open only on the weekends.
Mhm.
Whether or not that's going to continue, or whether or not he's going to open up full time, it's hard to say. You know, who knows?
That's their normal winter schedule.
Who knows what the world's going to be like in July?
July.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thanks for that.
What are people doing?
That
Going to sleep.
sounded like a Wookiee.
Somebody not have their dinner yet? Their stomach's grumbling?
Oh my. Does anybody else have any activities that are coming up of interest yet for the next 3 or 4 months for the club?
That we could say on video?
Relating to the club. Okay, so that's really what I have for old and new business. Does anybody else have new business you would like to introduce? Right.
Hey, David?
Raise your hand.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah, I told you that I might be able to show the video tonight, but I couldn't because I've been having some software problems. But the thing is almost complete. It's down there on my computer, and I did almost make it, but not quite. So we'll have to figure out some way that we're going to share that later on.
Well, share it with the person of interest, or share it with the club?
Well, I have to figure out yet how to, how to approach that, but I do want to, what I was wondering is if we could do some kind of a group card or in some way, like, in the days when you don't have these problems that we have with COVID, you could pass a card around and have people sign it at a meeting or something like that. But this thing is going to be ready to give to him for his birthday, which is the 23rd. And I was wondering if maybe we could do a thing where everybody could participate via a card or a letter or something where we all of us get together on one thing and then hand him that along with the video.
Could we do some sort of an online card? Because I keep getting these political advertisements say send a birthday present with your name to so-and-so, and maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Or we could just sign it from AMA. That would include everybody.
There you go.
Yeah. And just list our name.
Yeah.
For those that want to participate, of course.
Yeah. Well, we'll come up with something anyway, and then we'll give that to him. And then I've been working with Rich on this to come up with some way to have it in a medium that everybody can handle. Like you've got DVDs and you've got Blu-rays, and I can make those. And then like a thumb drive, I can do that. And some of the other things are a little esoteric for me, like putting it on YouTube or in some other way sharing. And that's where I'm depending on Rich to help me out with that.
How about 16 millimeter film?
I got a projector.
Tom, about how long would you say your video is now? Length, duration?
The last, it was, I think, about 38 minutes long.
Wow, you've been working hard.
Yeah. I've been working on this sucker since November. I've been working on it for 3 months, and I've just about got it. We are going to crack a bottle of champagne over here at the kitchen.
Very excited to see it. I know we can. It'd be nice if it was ready by February, but if it's ready March, that's fine too.
But we also have a little companion piece that is a little bonus surprise that was done by Michael Wiedmer, and he did an excellent job. And it'll be as a little companion piece that'll be like you can click on that and watch it, or you can click on the main feature and watch it. It's really good. Wait till you see it.
Like a cartoon before the main event?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, it is humorous, and Mike does an excellent job.
Nice. Thank you, and thank you, Mike. Any other comments before I read some birthdays and anniversaries? Any other new business or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have one thing. Incredibly, yesterday, I just received my November-December edition of Antique Automobile.
Yay.
Yay. And I just wanted to say, David, that you did a fantastic job on that article, and
Yes.
came off very nicely, and good to see it on the national mag.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dave Chiat, you get yours yet?
Oh, he's the one that was good.
I was going to say, my issue didn't show up, and I finally called National and talked to Stacy Zimmerman back there, and she informed me that They do not actually mail it. It goes through the publisher that does the mailing. And they have semis backed up in the Philadelphia area with mail that has not yet been delivered.
Oh,
So,
my.
it's amazing that, we got, I'm still waiting for the next issue because that's going to have the one with the new building and all that information in it. And I'm not sure when that comes out, but I'm anxiously waiting for it.
Dave, it would be really interesting, I think, for our club as well, if you were able to put together some sort of a little presentation or video slideshow, something so we could see what your club is up to these days as well.
Well, we do have capabilities there on Facebook. The girl that takes care of that publishes it quite often. So any of your members that want to plug into the Facebook for the Redwood Empire region, I'm sure you'll get everything we need.
Nice.
We've all been banned up here.
I received my copy of the National Magazine yesterday, and I had heard from others they received it the day before Christmas, and it sounds like they. So yeah, it's on a truck.
Huh. I'm still waiting for mine.
Oh, really?
If you have not received it, give them a call at National and talk to Stacy Zimmerman and inform her that you haven't got it. They'll mail you one right out of the office.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so other business before we go into birthdays and anniversaries. Hearing none. Happy birthday, Dutch, a few days ago on the 2nd. Ralph Santoni on the 7th, his birthday. Dave, happy birthday on the 7th as well. Dave Siren. We have 3 Daves here today. Rebecca Martin on the 13th, Randall Moss on the 17th, Bruce Campbell on the 23rd, which we were just talking about, and Cheryl Martin on the 24th rather, Terry Young on the 24th, and Donald Moorfield on the 29th. And happy anniversary to Colleen and Howard on the 11th, and Milton M as well on the 11th. Carl and Kathleen Godso on the 26th, and then David and Don on the 29th for anniversaries. And congratulations, everybody.
Yay.
Yay.
So I think that we're headed right now for our next meeting in February. I'm pretty sure that everyone's going to be comfortable doing another meeting via Zoom. Any discussion on that?
Oh, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Who's got refreshments?
Comfortable for everybody? Yeah, I think it's working out pretty well right now. Sure will be nice when spring comes along and we can do a rolling meeting. And
Yeah.
David,
and you're
David,
welcome.
Dave Siren.
Oh, yes. Dave.
Yeah, hey, I got a call today from a fellow in Fairbanks. He's got an Essex and he needs some little steel clips that connects the wooden spoke section of the wheel to the split rim. And so I told him I would pass that on. So if anyone has any ideas on what might be out there locally, he would appreciate it. You could probably contact Bill Chase up there or get with me and I've got a number for him.
Okay, that sounds obscure.
Yes.
Was it Bill that called?
No, but he told me that Bill had given him my name and number. So Bill's aware of it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I thank everybody for participating today. And unless we have anything else, we're looking for a motion to adjourn. And afterwards, you're welcome to chat a little bit for a few minutes after we've adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Dave, before you hit the don't record anymore button, might want to look at the help file just to make sure what that does when you stop recording.
It's probably flagged my account with a lot of different cookies and things for the last hour. I'm thrilled. Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. You're welcome to chat back and forth for a few minutes if you wish.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you. Yeah,
Yes.
great being back talking to a lot of you. I hope
Yeah.
we can join you next month too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, we could do our regular meetings if there's an internet connection. We could actually just have a machine sitting in background so that out of local area people could still zoom into the meeting, even though it's a live normal meeting.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a real good idea.
Would anybody have any objections to me passing the connection on to our local president and let them participate?
We'd love to have guests.
I'm sorry.
We would love to have guests.
Okay, good. I will pass it on and see what it can go with that.
Does somebody
It'd
just call?
probably be best if they send an email or something to introduce themselves before, so we know who's coming in.
Sure, that's definitely possible.
Did Marilyn just fall right next to you?
No, no, Marilyn went out to answer a phone call from our daughter, and she has been out there. And I just moved and knocked the chair she was sitting in over.
Thank you, Dave and Marilyn, for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next month as well.
Our pleasure. That's very fun.
All right.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Take care.
May the force be with you all.
Yes, perfect. We need it.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Come again.